All right. Dazn hitting them bricks looking for some money to pay the bills or to buy something new. Let's talk about Dazn looking for over $500 million in extra money out in them streets in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, I want to say special thank you to my communities, the Patreon community and the live stream community. I want to thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support on through the Cash App, through the Venmo, through the super chats in the live streams. Make sure you come to OG Boxing Talk this Sunday with myself, KQKC Boxing, Blood Boxing, Curtis Anderson, and Trap House Boxing, my co-host. Man, I'm telling you, it is a very, very, very fun show. We have a great panel, but we also have a great chat room, very respectful chat room where people go back and forth and discuss a lot of different boxing topics to wrap up the week in boxing. Now, this video is a special request from one of my favorite patrons, the Cali Enigma. Shout out to the Cali Enigma. Please subscribe to his channel. And he asked me to comment and give my thoughts on an article that came out entitled "Dazn is reportedly looking to raise $500 million for further rights deals." And this is my thought. Now, we know what Dazn is. First of all, it's a misleading title. Okay. The report, and this is the misleading title. Dazn is reportedly looking to raise $500 million for further rights deals. Now, I have no doubt that they're looking to raise the $500 million. That, I believe, is solid reporting. The 4 further rights deals, that, my friend, is speculation. And if you actually go through the article and read the article, you'll see that they are speculating about what they're raising the money for. The people that wrote this article have no idea because the people that provided the information did not tell them. They just said, hey, Len Blavatnik, the billionaire guy who's reportedly worth $25.5 billion, the main investor in Dazn, said that he is not footing the bill anymore by himself, so he's looking for outside investors. He's also, if you recall, they had something was called the Perform Group, an application or a data analysis, which I think was kind of like a data analysis tool, if I understand what they were doing correctly. They sold that so that they could get more capital in order to buy more rights, all right, to more sporting events. Now, here's the thing, okay? And I got to give a little bit of background, Callie, to this. Dazn is an application, right, or a streaming service. It's a company. Their product is the streaming service, and it's global, right? They have rights to things in Europe, Canada. I think they also have rights to things in China. They might have somewhere in Asia, but they have them in different Germany. I think Germany is one of their big spots. And the United States is one of the places that they buy the rights, that they are located, that they do business in. And they buy the rights to air sporting events on their platform, right? That's what they're doing. So when they're looking to raise money, they could be looking for one of two things. They could either be raising the money to buy additional rights, okay? Because they're asking for money. Hey, invest in our company. We will give you a percentage of ownership in our company. So essentially, they're selling, when they're looking for investors, they're selling ownership in their application or in their company for $500 million or more, because what the report says, at least $500 million. They could be looking for people to invest $1 billion, $2 billion, right? Whatever it is, as long as it's more than they're looking for more than $500 million, not $500 million or less, $500 million or more. And they could use that capital for several reasons. They could be looking to buy more rights, or they could be looking to cover operating costs, or they could be doing a combination of them. In the article, and look, this is my take when I read these articles. The people that are reporting this are not going to try to make anybody look bad. They're not going to try to overly influence the market by putting out a bunch of negative stuff. They're going to be as circumspect as they possibly can. In this article, though, they point out to the fact that in the meantime, Dazn is paying out a lot of big money to big name executives like John Skipper, Jamie Horowitz, and Josh Santry. However, it's certainly possible that part of the Dazn fundraising strategy here is to get enough cash to make a big run at something like Sunday Ticket. Okay, Callie? So when I'm reading this, when I read this paragraph, it's acknowledging that they have a lot of money that they got to actually pay out. So that when I refer to it, that's what I mean by operating cash, right? They have money that they need to pay out for the fights, to honor the contracts that they already have, right? They've got to pay John Skipper, they got to pay Jamie Horowitz, they got to pay Josh Santry, they got to pay Canelo Alvarez, they've got to pay Gennady Golovkin, they've got to pay Radio Raheem, they got to pay Chris Mannix, right? They got to pay for all the marketing and the advertisement they're doing to sell. But one thing we know that Dazn does not have, at least in the United States, is they do not have positive cash flow. They are operating at a loss without a doubt. So they cannot pay to buy these rights from the money that they are making from the rights that they currently hold. That's why they need to go to an investor to get more money to do it. You know what I mean? Let me explain this clearly. They do not have enough money on hand, cash in the bank. Dazn, I'm not talking about Horowitz. I'm not Horowitz. I'm not talking about, I want to say Blavatsky, but his name is Blavatnik. Now, Blavatnik himself probably does have the money to foot the bill if he's worth $25.5 billion, but he's saying he's not doing it. No more, I'm not digging in my pocket anymore. If this shit's going to work, somebody else has got to put in to help to help either buy those rights, additional rights, or to pay the bills that we currently have. I suspect that it's a mixture of the two in order to make sure that they can pay the bills that they have and go out and buy more rights to sporting events. More than likely, that's going to be in sporting events and rights to sporting events that exist outside the United States, because John Skipper, according to this article, has stated in several interviews that the rights to sports in the United States are locked up until the 2021. And even then, even when those rights open up, you're going to have Disney through ESPN Plus's app looking to bid on those streaming services. So it's going to be very difficult for Dazn to compete. Dazn is going to have a hard time growing and buying additional sporting rights in the United States, which is why I believe that they're in boxing to begin with, because there wasn't as many people going to be honestly stupid enough to, I guess that's kind of unfair, who are going to take the risk to sign Canelo Alvarez to a $350 million deal. So this is my take on it, right? Without trying to be unfair to Dazn, the company, because a lot of times people, when I make comments about Dazn in the United States, some people don't appreciate that I'm just talking about basically the U.S. operations and how successful the U.S. operations appear to me, because you have Dazn in the United States, you have Dazn in Germany, you have Dazn in different places in Europe, right? And you can think of Dazn USA as just being like a department or a branch of Dazn. So if you like for IBM, you could have IBM, which is, just say it's in the United States, and you have a office in the state of California. You have offices in California. You have offices in New York. You have offices in Florida. You have offices in Texas. if you look at those, all of those, they're going to have books for each one of those different, all those different divisions. So when somebody's looking at the profitability of IBM overall in the United States, they'll take in everything into consideration. But, and this is the risk for the US, when you look at those things, you're also going to look specifically at, in the case of the IBM example, how are we doing in Texas? Oh, we're making a lot of money in California. We're making a lot of money. We're making money in California. We're making money in New York. We are losing our shirts in Texas. So what are we going to do? In order to continue they might reprioritize and say, hold on, we're going to invest our money in the areas that we're really believe that we can grow. And we're going to de-invest or we're going to de-invest or reduce our investment in the areas where we're weak. If you look at Dazn in the United States, you have to assume from every bit of public information that's out there that they're not making money here. And I suspect that when you have a $350 million contract to one fighter, a $100 million contract to another guy, you got $1 billion in stuff being spent on boxing, but you're only making 40 million off your subscribers, that it's a drain on the other areas. And eventually somebody's going to open an eye to that, which is this issue that this is going to cause DAZN. I mean, that this could cause for John Skipper, right? If somebody says, you know what, I'm going to invest, or my group is going to invest $1 billion in DAZN. We believe in DAZN, but look, now that I've invested my $1 billion, I want some say-so in what's going on. And since I want to make my money back, I'm not investing $1 billion so that I can lose 500. Okay. I'm not investing $1 billion so I can make 500. I'm investing my $1 billion because I expect a significant return on my money. And that being the case, I want say-so in the operations. You guys are doing something stupid over there in the United States with this boxing. You got making major investments in Canelo Alvarez. You made major investments in Gennady Golovkin. You're making major investments in Anthony Joshua, and they're being outperformed by YouTube channels. We can't have this anymore. That's the risk, Callie, that this investment, that bringing in additional investors in any business always brings, and specifically in this scenario. So that's my thoughts on the DAZN thing. I don't think that this means tomorrow the DAZN USA is going to close up shops and leave. But it is saying that the guy that has been putting most money behind says he's not going to put any more of his own money in it. And if it's going to go on, we need different additional investors. And if you bring in additional investors, those additional investors are going to want some say-so on the direction that the company goes. And when they start looking at things, they're going to look at the big cost centers and the things that are not necessarily being successful. And from the outside looking in, DAZN USA Boxing seems like it could be a prime target for something like that. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.